Since then, everything has been miserable. My parents openly hate her now. She has stopped coming to family meetings because it's outright hostile to her. Their child still comes around, but my mother often badmouths her in front of him. He's only 3, and it's confusing for him. My brother and I went on a road trip recently to pick up our grandmother and bring her to my parents' house for the holidays. It was 4 hours there and 4 hours back. During the drive, he started discussing the rules they have in their marriage now after her affair. Hey gang, and welcome back to the hallowed halls of Magic's monologue. Magic here, your curator of personal growth and the sage keeper of the keys to today's tome of wisdom and knowledge. Today's video, am I the a-hole for protecting my sister-in-law who cheated on my brother? Let's begin the journey. This is a personal story about what can happen if you don't let go and move on. Probably a better title would have been Affair Poisoned a Family Forever. Pay attention, gentlemen, and don't become this guy. 2 years ago, our family was caught in a huge drama. My sister-in-law had a month-long affair with someone from her night courses. At that time, my brother was absolutely destroyed, and he wanted to divorce her. It was hell for almost 3 months, but he ultimately decided to stay married to her and work through it in counseling. Slap to the back of the head. Your brother is an idiot. If they cheat on you once and you take them back, they will do it again. And you have shown them you're weak. And ultimately, there will be no consequences. Trust is broken, and the relationship will not be the same. I wasn't a fan of that idea, but it's his life. I think he stayed mostly for their child. However, I honestly believe it's been terrible for him. I hear this a lot about men and some women staying for the children, which sounds all noble. However, all you are doing in most cases, we have to leave room for exceptions, is teaching them how to have a dysfunctional relationship. Chances are, when they become adults, they will seek out such relationships. Chances are, they'll pass up good, functional partners for those who are just as broken as them. Since then, everything has been miserable. My parents openly hate her now. She stopped coming to family meetings because it's outright hostile to her. Their child still comes around, but my mother often badmouths her in front of him. He's only 3, and it's confusing for him. Slap to the back of the head of your mother. What kind of woman takes it out on a 3-year-old? She may not approve of what went down in her son's marriage. However, this behavior is completely unacceptable. If this is the way your mom behaves, what kind of value system did she pass on to you and your brother? My brother and I went on the road trip recently to pick up our grandmother and bring her to my parents' house for the holidays. It was 4 hours there and 4 hours back. During the drive, he started discussing the rules that they have in their marriage now. Here's what he told me. Sister-in-law has to come straight home after work. She can only go out if he's with her. He inspects her phone every few days and can do surprise checks. She had to cut off all her friends and can only have new ones if he approves of them. She has tracking apps on her phone and air tags on her car, purse, and even in her running shoes. She does all the housework. Meanwhile, he has given himself a free pass to sleep with other people. Slap to the back of the head of your brother. Dude, I get your wife cheated on you. However, now you've become a jailer, and there is no healing of the heart on this path, only fear, hate, and suffering. Part of the process here is learning to let go and have the ability to move on to a place of co-parenting and maybe even finding someone who will love you and not cheat on you. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told him it sounded like he was punishing her. Yeah, he is. Not rebuilding their marriage. He shrugged it off and said she deserved it for what she did. I asked him if he even loved her anymore or if he hated her, because from what he was describing, it sounded like he stayed married just to make her life miserable. Now, I would agree with this. He wants to make her hurt, like he is now hurting, and by going down this path, he thinks he's in control. He got defensive and told me I didn't understand what it was like to be cheated on. Oh, so now he's playing victim like a little bitch? But I do. I've been cheated on, and it was devastating. I separated, and now I'm happy because I didn't want to live in the misery with someone I couldn't trust. I told him he wasn't just making her miserable, he was making himself miserable too. And that's dead on. I completely agree with that. He's poisoning everything for both of them, and their child will be stuck in the middle. I asked him if he would prefer to separate, co-parent, and move on to find someone he could actually trust. I said it would be better than living in this constant resentment. He didn't want to hear it and said I should mind my own business. When we got to my parents' house, I asked to speak to my sister-in-law privately. I wanted to see if she was okay because this sounded awful. She broke down crying and admitted she feels trapped, but is staying for their son. She begged me not to tell anyone, so I promised I wouldn't. Later, my brother found out. We talked. Gee, I wonder how that happened, and who threw you under the bus? What's that saying? Two can keep a secret if one of them is, well, dead? Later, my brother found out. We had talked, and he got furious. He accused me of protecting her and interfering in his marriage. My parents agreed with him and said I should have stayed out of it. They think she deserves everything she's getting for what she did. I feel like this is so toxic for everyone involved. No one deserves to live like this, not even someone who made a bad decision. Their son is growing up in the middle of this disaster. I just don't see how this is good for anyone. Am I in the wrong for saying something? Should I have stayed out of it? Right. For talking to the sister-in-law and him, no, you are not the a-hole. The a-hole here is your sister-in-law for cheating and your brother for being a toxic dick. Oh, by the way, I should probably throw your parents in there too. Let us be clear. I am not defending either one of them. Who I will defend and speak up for is the 3-year-old boy. That environment is not in the best interest of the child. All these two are doing is teaching this child that love and relationships are toxic, dysfunctional, and are supposed to hurt. Then, what kind of role model is your brother, teaching him how to hate and punish? No. In my view, the best thing they can do is divorce, co-parent, and find a better path than the one they're on now. In the comments section below, give your thoughts on this sad situation, guys. And by the way, also, drop a note as to where you're watching this video from, and let's fire up the algorithm. If you found value in this video, then help a brother out by doing 3 things. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, and share this with at least 3 friends who will need to learn from this channel. Confession is good for the soul and this channel. Send me your personal relationship stories to share, or if you see an article online you think I should cover, send the link to stories@magicsmonologue.com. Through this, you're leading by example, encouraging other men to rise higher, ensuring you live a life of passion, purpose, and prosperity. If you're watching this on YouTube and want another video kind of like this one, then click here to watch She Tested His Loyalty and He Finally Snapped. Otherwise, if you can't wait for my next new video, then click on one of these right now and watch another. Know the risks, play the game wisely, and I'll see you in the winner's circle.